Hello, my sunshine. I know you feel that everything in life right now is going to shit. Yep. It's all collapsing around you and you're devastated. You're on your knees. You can't imagine how life will ever be good again. You can't imagine how you're going to get yourself up out of this. And you're questioning God, you're wondering why I did all the right things. I'm not a bad person, and I don't feel that I deserve this. I've been there. Oh, trust me, I've been there. And at that time in my life where I was on my knees, literally on my knees, I used to come and walk in these fields. So I used to come, there's like little benches dotted around all over the place, and I'd come and I'd sit on these benches for like an hour, 2 hours at a time, just contemplating my life, just wondering how the F did it get to this point? How did I actually get here? Everything was going great, like, and then one day, overnight, your life's upside down. I'll never forget the very day that my life just collapsed from underneath me. I felt, if I can put it into words, it felt like the whole universe turned black and morphed into like this big black hole, and I just felt that I was being swallowed up by this big black hole of nothingness and emptiness and destruction and death. Basically, that's how I felt. I felt myself falling, and it was at the time that I discovered the betrayal in my marriage. I don't feel I'm at a point yet with my channel where I want to dive into all of that yet. I think the time will definitely come, because I know my story will help so many people. I just know it, but it's not time yet. So yeah, that was, I mean, there have been a series, I guess, of tower moments in my life. And when I say tower moment, if you're familiar with tarot, I love tarot. The tower card in tarot is the card that represents basically the old structure of your life collapsing, burning, being destroyed. But the flip side of the card is that it's being destroyed and collapsed for a reason, and that's for it to be rebuilt bigger, stronger, better. And actually, it's a gift from the universe. It's a gift from the universe when your life collapses, because it means the universe cares enough, God cares enough about you to course correct your life, to put you back on track. So at the time, all those years ago, I haven't even calculated how many years ago it was now for me. 19, 20. Okay, so this year will be 7 years since my major tower moment in my life. And at the time, afterwards, after everything happened and the dust sort of settled, the sun's come out. I remember being on YouTube all day, every day, desperately searching for answers, for guidance. And tarot and astrology readings is what I sort of gravitated towards at the time, and I watched hundreds of them. And it truly actually helped me. This is not, I don't know where I'm going with this part, but I think it's because we were talking about the Tower card. What I'm trying to say is that, sorry guys, I went off on a bit of a tangent then and lost my train of thought. But what I'm trying to tell you is that this point in your life right now, where everything feels the darkest it's ever been, it feels impossible, you have to trust me that this is the most exciting point of your whole life. The awakening on every level that you're going to experience is so profound that I can't even put it into words for you. You are going to look back in however many years, in however long it takes for you to heal to a point where you're able to look back and be unemotional about this time. You're going to look back and you're going to know that this was the moment in your life, this was the time in your life that started you on your new path, you on your correct path, the path that God had always ordained for you to find, to be on. And it is one of the most difficult things in life when you realize everything up until this point that you'd worked so hard to attain, in the end meant nothing. So, you know, the house or the apartment or the cars or the perfect relationship, the marriage, you know, the kids, that whole picture that you were working towards, that you in some cases, in most cases, attained. It's fairly easy to attain all those things, but when you do, even the career, when you do, and then it all gets taken away from you and you're back to like square one, oh, that's a hard pill to swallow. That really is the hardest pill to swallow. And you feel like you've wasted so much time, you feel like you've wasted your life, you've wasted years, but you haven't. You absolutely haven't wasted anything. You had to successfully attain all of that to understand that all of that doesn't matter. And when I say it doesn't matter, it's not that those things are, you know, they're not frivolous things, they're not empty things. Building a life of your dreams is not is not for the faint-hearted. It takes a lot, and when you get to the point where I don't think we speak enough about what it's like to attain what you dreamed of attaining and then losing it. I think we talk a lot about not having and never having succeeded in certain areas of life, or, you know, the struggle that it takes to get what you want in this life. People talk about that a lot, and they guide people in how to attain what they want. But I don't think there's a lot of people talking about what happens when you do get all of that and then the next day you don't have it. How do you reconcile that? How do you build yourself up again? How do you create a new, because we identify with the stuff that we attain, we identify with our success. So when your ego is attached to the life that you've built, to the things that you've created, when that's all been destroyed and washed away and taken from you, who then are you? What are you then left with? In terms of who you are, like, at that time in my life, several years ago, when I was happily married, I was, he clearly wasn't, but anyway, and I had the beautiful dream apartment, and I had the dream car, and we were trying for kids and whatnot. Like, that was my identity. That was who I was. I based my self-worth and my self-esteem on the fact that I had all those things. I'd made it, I'd succeeded. And then when the universe decided that that life wasn't my life, I was living someone else's fantasy, someone else's dream, someone else's life. I wasn't living what I was put here. I wasn't living out the life that I was put here to live. And I got humbled real quick. Literally 2 years into the marriage. God was like, nope, don't know where you're going with that, but this isn't for you, so I'm going to just take all of that back, and you're gonna start again, reset. So, as I said, that was a long time ago for me, but I'm speaking to whoever it is that is still at that point and needs to hear that it's gonna be okay. I was gonna swear, but I won't, because I might trigger something on YouTube, but you're gonna be effing okay. Trust me, you're gonna be more than okay. Oh my God, you're gonna be okay. If you need a sign from the universe that things are gonna be okay, this is it. I'm telling you with no shadow of a doubt that you're gonna be fine. You're going to uncover a life. You're going to find more than you could have even bargained for, and what you're going to find is you. You're going to find yourself, and that is priceless. There's no value that can be placed on finding yourself. Learning yourself, understanding yourself, knowing yourself is the key. It's it. Nothing else matters. And so then at that point, when you've picked yourself up off the ground, dusted yourself off, and it might take a while, but you will, you're going to be a blank canvas, and you're going to be able to paint whatever your heart desires on that canvas, and it's going to be yours, and nobody can take that from you. When you build your inner self, an inner world for yourself, no one can take that from you. So it doesn't matter if you're living on the streets, it doesn't matter if you're in a desert, on a deserted island with nothing. You actually have everything then, because you have yourself. And so many of us are lost, living lives that we fought so hard for, but did we really inquire with the universe, with God, with ourselves? Did we really sit down and ask ourselves, is this really the best use of my life, my one life? Is this really what I've set up here, what I've built here? Is this really it? Is this really what I'm here to do, to be? And when you're in it, when you're operating from ego, when you're living a world where your ego is running the show, you think that you've made it. You think that you know, that this is it. Like, you can't see that there could be any more for you in terms of spiritual fulfillment, in terms of your soul. You know, we talk about a spiritual awakening. The spiritual awakening is the hardest shit you will ever do in your life. And I believe that we have a series of awakenings through our lives, but that one major one, that first one, ooh, it's a toughie. And it's happening for a reason, my darling. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason for absolutely everything, the good and the bad. And trust me, I know it doesn't feel like it now, but you're being stripped and you're being reset, and you need to get excited about that. Honestly, you need to get so excited. This will be the best thing that ever happened to you, and one day you can look back and know that. And I know you feel embarrassed, you feel ashamed, you feel, yeah, an unbelievable amount of grief. You're mourning what your life used to be. You're confused. And there are so many things and people that will leave your life. There are so many people, especially, that you think will be there with you through this really hard time that you're going through. And I'm sorry to break it to you, my darling, not many people will stick around. And that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing, because you'll be able to see exactly who is for you and who is not for you going forward. It's going to be a time for you of shedding, releasing, letting go, putting down everything that isn't for you in order to make this journey that you're going to be embarking on easier and lighter. So don't mourn the things that you're losing at this time. Don't mourn them. Don't grieve them. Choose to say goodbye. Choose to have appreciation for how they served you at one point. But now those people, those places, those things, they don't serve you anymore. And they're being taken from you in love. The universe is not punishing you. The universe is not trying to teach you a lesson. The universe is loving you. And it's loving you into the right direction. What do they say? Tough love. Some of the most powerful acts of love in this world are painful and disruptive and uncomfortable. It's like when a parent is disciplining a child. The child hates it. The child, you know, the child gets upset, the child cries, the child doesn't understand. And that's where you are at this time. But it's not going to last. Because when you make it out, when you get yourself back on your feet, the world better be ready for you, because you're going to be brand new. And one day you're going to be able to speak to someone like this. And I didn't ever think that would be me when I was going through my darkest time of the soul. But here I am talking to you now on the other side, and life is good. So I love you so much. Yeah, don't give up. Don't give up. There's more, much more